My next recipe is going to be tea-infused scones, so I thought I'd talk to Matt Greenwood, a master tea taster, who I'm sure can give me some advice on how to pick the perfect tea for my recipe. You're going to introduce me to a range of your teas.
Full range of our teas.
A full range.
Have you done any spitting and slurping before?
Yeah, but not tea.
Because what have you done?
Oh, wine.
Well, wine.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because we're going to talk a bit about wine and tea analogies.
Oh, cool.
First thing we'll do is I'll show you how to taste the tea.
Okay.
And then you won't be nervous about that. Okay.
All right.
So get a big spoonful.
Yep.
Give it a big slurp, and that's really important to bring out the flavours.
Wow, that is a slurp. Oh yeah.
And then you spit it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So get it all round your mouth. Try and hit all of your taste buds, and just before you're about to swallow it, spit it out.
All right, wish me luck. Here we go.
Good luck. It's a good slurp, which is a good start. Yeah, it's a cheap shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good. So that's it. And the idea there is you aerating the tea and it releases all of the flavour.
Yeah.
And that hits all of the taste buds in your mouth and releases all of that, and then you can really make a good assessment of it.
Oh, cool.
Right, moving on here. The first thing you'll see about Belle Kenya Bold is the visual difference in the cup. And this is really red, really strong looking, and it's designed to hit your eyes first.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, right, I'm going to taste a really good, strong cup
It
of
looks
tea.
strong, eh?
Some of the greatest estates in Kenya and Africa, and it's almost a bit like the espresso of the tea world. So it's designed to have a quick, big impact in your mouth. In wine terms, this would be more like a sort of vintage Hawke's Bay Cab Sauv.
Yep.
So really good quality red wine. Now for something completely different. This is India origin, and the first thing you'll probably notice is that it looks paler, almost more serene than the other teas. It's just calmly sitting in the bowl. But that hides a really, really strong flavour. This is a blend of two of India's greatest teas, from Assam in northeast India and Darjeeling. And it brings together those flavours to create something that's really, really powerful. So you get the malty, biscuity, caramel flavours from the Assam, and that's overlain with the sort of floral, more fruity notes from the very, very high-grown Darjeeling. Really great with food. So they're the black teas. And now some green teas.
Green tea.
This is an oolong. And if I was going to describe a tea as like a rosé wine, oolong would be like that. And the best oolong comes from China.
It's a lot stronger than just your green tea.
Yep. So lots of flavours.
Yeah.
Fruity,
Very
floral,
complex.
sweet.
Yeah.
And the last one here, zesty citrus.
Yeah, that citrus comes through straight away.
Easy drinking and designed to be very natural lemon and lime flavours, but really accentuate the flavours in that.
Excellent. Well, the whole range tastes great to me. So I've taken interest in your zesty citrus tea, and I was thinking of infusing the scones, then making it the flavour. Which tea would you recommend to drink it with? When I'm talking in your dark range.
Well, first I'd say zesty citrus would be great for making scones. The tea I would recommend to go with it, one of the best would be India origin, because the complexity of the flavours and the fullness of the flavours will go well with the scones.
Yeah.
And it's really designed as a sort of afternoon tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm definitely going to go and give that a try and drink my Indian origin tea with it. Thank you so much for walking me through the tasting, and I will work on my spit the next time.
It's a pleasure. Do work on the spitting.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah. Sorry about your shoes. Baby, I love it. I've just been to see Matt at Belle Tea, and he's given me a whole bunch of information. Now, when I think of tea, I think of scones. So I thought somehow maybe infusing the zesty green tea in with the scones. So we're going to start with some milk and cream on heat, but you don't want to overheat this and split it. So you just want to bring it up to near boil, and then we're going to be infusing some of the tea bags in with this. So I've got a small saucepan here, got my milk and cream mixture there, tip it in. Excellent. So this is what we're looking for. See how it's starting to steam? And you'll see it starts to bubble. So we can remove that from the heat. Now I'm going to infuse my zesty green tea citrus in with the milk and cream. Now you can use 4, I like to use 5 tea bags because I like it nice and strong. And you want to leave this in for longer than 3 minutes. Now this is supercharged with healthy antioxidants, so it's got to be good for you. Now pour it in. Now that will be nice and warm, it's going to start infusing the flavours of the tea. And I'm going to set this aside to cool. There we go. Now onto my dry ingredients. I got my flour, just going to dump it in there. Excellent. We got sugar, baking powder, zest of 1 lemon, and a pinch of salt. Now, the tip is you want to give the dry ingredients a good stir before adding in the wet because you don't want to overmix scones. So that's nice and stirred. Now onto the wet ingredients. Now tea is infused nicely, so I'm going to remove the tea bags. Just chuck them back in the pot. Now milk and cream's going into a centre of the well. We've got some egg. Our butter, nicely melted. And cutting a lemon. And squeeze it over. Remember, guard the pips. Good tip is mix it with a knife because you don't want to overmix it and push all the air out of it. You want it nice and light and fluffy. Getting it all off the sides. Cut it up. Excellent. And it's starting to resemble a ball of dough. So now we're going to tip it out onto the floured bench. So add a little bit of flour. Brush it around. Make yourself some room here. Move everything out of the way. Onto the floured board, and we're going to knead it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now we have a nice ball of scone mix. All right, now we're going to cut our scones. So flatten it out, but don't pat it out too much. Want it about 4 to 5 centimetres thick. You can really make it any shape you like. And we're just going to cut them. Now I'm not too fussed about perfectly shaped scones, so I just sort of cut them however. Now a tip about cooking your scones is cook them nice and close, don't spread them too far out because that can actually dry them out, and so you don't want that. And there we go, it's going into an oven. Our scones are looking golden brown, exactly how we want them, and they're smelling beautiful and citrusy. So I'm going to serve them up on the board, and I've got some whipped cream, some jam to go with it, and I'm going to take Matt's advice and I'm going to pour myself a nice Bell India Origin tea. A great afternoon tea with scones. Baby, I love it. For the recipes featured on tonight's show and the chance to win fabulous prizes, see the Savour section inside this week's Herald on Sunday. Next week, I serve up a delicious herb-crusted lamb rack and show you how to make my special sauce. And I learn all about using sea vegetables in everyday cooking.